And we're on. Hello.
Hello.
Right. Welcome to our new podcast. I keep looking at that screen. I should be looking at the camera, shouldn't I? We'll start again. Hello. Right.
We need a name.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. But yeah, no, we're starting a podcast. We want to shine a bit of light on Blackpool, get away from the sort of the constant negativity.
Shift the narrative.
Yeah, shift the narrative.
The narrative exists at the minute is quite bleak.
Yeah.
But that's not our experience.
No.
Well, not all of our experience anyway.
No, and as we've discussed, it's not just a Blackpool thing. If you ask anyone, what's it like where you live? It's normally a negative.
I go to a lot of places, work with a lot of people, especially teenagers, and you ask what's it like living around here, and they'll ordinarily give a very negative response.
Are we going to be a sweary podcast, or do you think we should try and curve it?
It's going to be difficult for me not to.
Yeah, I'm a swearer.
Unfortunately, much to my mum's disappointment.
It's my biggest downfall, to be honest.
No comment.
I worked in a warehouse for 20 years, and it's just
you've no chance.
industrial language, I think they call it. So yeah. Right, so shall we introduce ourselves? I'll let you go first.
Yeah,
mate,
so I'm Nathan. I am a independent author, poet and performer from Blackpool. But I would say that my cultural awareness came quite late. I didn't start writing until I was 29 because I kind of grew up thinking that people like me weren't supposed to do that sort of stuff, which again taps into this podcast and why it's important to, tell different stories from Blackpool and the Blackpool community about what we are capable of, what we should be doing, what we could be doing, as opposed to this fixed narrative of when you're from Blackpool, this is what your future looks like.
Yeah, I buy into that fully. So my name's Craig. I'm I was going to say musician, but I play the drums, so there's some debate there. But
well, you're far more a musician than I've ever been.
So. But I'm a drummer. Played in bands for 20 odd years. December 2025, I got made redundant from the family business that I've worked at since I was a kid. And then in January this year, I opened Shaker Maker, which is a creative teaching space, podcast studio. And the idea of Shaker Maker was just to get people together in a nice environment and and I'm doing it for Blackpool as well.
Yeah.
One of the big things.
We should have hosted it there. Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, one of the big things for me was in the summer last year, 2025, we went to London and we went down Denmark Street and I went in all these music shops and everyone in all the shops knew full well I had no intention of buying anything. But we just chatted. Chatted about music, chatted about instruments. And I realised how much I miss Electric Avenue and Rimmers and Tower Music and wherever else I used to pop into. But like Electric Avenue on Whitegate Drive, I miss it massively. Because I'd buy a pair of drumsticks, have a brew, you'd chat to some old guy or some young guy, and it's just great.
Well, that's where the wisdom is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Through stories, through conversations. That's where we learn. That's where we grow.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
where we feel connected,
and it's how kind of relationships and bands are formed as well in those settings. So I wanted to bring a bit of that back.
Well, it's definitely got that vibe.
Yeah.
It's definitely got that vibe. And
I mean, I gig most weekends, but the difference with gigging is it's work, and people have had 5 or 6 pints. They want to chat to you, but they don't realise that you just want to go home. And like I'm lucky because I play the drums, and it takes probably an hour to pack everything up and put it in the van. So I'm just like, oh yeah, nice one, mate. Yeah, but and then but the other lads will have to go and chat to people, and it's like, especially on a Friday, if you've worked all day and then you've got to, play songs till 2:00 in the morning. You don't want to be told.
And then packing your stuff. But and the other thing is as well, are those conversations as meaningful when under the influence?
Not to me.
Well, definitely not. And I get it. I get why people want to chat in that, they've enjoyed what you've just delivered. They feel connected to the music, nostalgia, all that sort of stuff. They want to kind of share that and maybe express their appreciation.
And the other big question was always like, do you teach drums? And I'd be like, no. Whereas now
you can say yes.
Yes.
Now the drums can wait to be packed up. You'll be going out there making it rain with business cards. But you raise an interesting point there, which is around when creativity becomes your job.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether this is a universal experience, but as a working class person of root, when creativity became my job, suddenly it was very, very important for me to also have creative spaces where it wasn't work.
Yeah.
So, like you say, creating this space at Shaker Maker, especially for musicians or storytellers, it's a place where people can come to connect with other people.
Yeah, 100%.
To reflect, to talk, to explore, expand on what it is that they're doing and learn from each other. When it is work, suddenly it becomes
weird
about
that it's work, though, isn't it?
earning the money to feed your kids and pay your bills. And, does that take the, I don't know, creative spark away? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. But
so for me, I've played in bands for 20 years. I've played in some of the most, I've been lucky, really. I've played in some of the most culturally significant venues in the UK. I've been to Europe, played in Amsterdam, and did something in France, and I've lived this incredible life. But for me, there was always this kind of voice in the back. You'd be playing to, I remember last year we were playing in a place called Rainford, and there's like 10,000 people there, and all I'm thinking of is, but you're going to be back in that warehouse on Monday morning, aren't you, mate? So this ain't your reality, and it kind of, and again, I don't know if that's like a working class thing, whereas you know your place,
and it's almost like, oh, you've done well to get here, but don't get ahead of yourself.
You do get that sort of where I don't know. Well, we won't see things they'll never see. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
but that is ingrained across generations. It's in our family homes, and it's in our schools. It's in our communities. It's in our friendship circles. The unspoken limitation, perhaps that we have to be quite lucky or purposeful or brave or to break through that. So that's why podcasts like this are really important. So we can talk about the positive side of creativity. Blackpool, I don't want to sound cringy, but for people to recognise that our horizons are broader than we are perhaps led to believe.
So we are going to have guests as well on every week.
So we're not just going to waffle about our own creative self-discovery.
But we want to get, what we want to do is just give a better reflection, especially on YouTube, of what goes on in Blackpool. So we want to get local business people, entertainers. I want to get
community figures. People who are having a positive impact on the community.
So many cool people in Blackpool.
So many impactful people. People you want to be friends with.
And I think, I don't know if you've experienced, but I've definitely experienced it, where you're swimming against the tide a lot of the time when you're from Blackpool, because we have this sort of the way it's portrayed generally is all negative and
that's not just an external thing as well. That is an internal thing. These negative kind of narratives that exist about the town, they drip feed into the community, not just kind of the next generation. It's all generations. You'll have to go on Facebook, and the comment sections of any post related to Blackpool will guaranteed to have some element of negativity attached to it.
Yeah, every post is not another car park.
You want to try fixing this, or you want to try doing that, or you want to try doing the other. And it's like, we get it, but we are realists. Yeah. We're not living in some fantasy world. We know that Blackpool has its challenges, but we also are aware that so does everywhere else. Yeah. And maybe it's time that we balanced the books a little bit with how much airtime.
It's an easy target, though, isn't it? Like, you go on YouTube and search Blackpool, and all it is people who've got a GoPro, they've come on the train, they've gone in Mark Kelly's, they'll walk down Coronation Street and Central Drive, and they'll be like interviewing, people who are dependent on different substances, and as if that's like a proper reflection. They never go to Stanley Park.
No.
They never go to like Polton or St Anne's or any of these like Highfield Road or Red Bank Road
and there are people. I live near Central Drive, so I'm walking down Central Drive. A YouTuber's never stopped me for a conversation, but they'll stop the person who's maybe struggling to function that day for various reasons, various traumatic reasons.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't have enough time if we were recording for 7 days.
You could go to anywhere in the world and find a shady part of it. Anywhere.
And find poverty, find substance misuse, find homelessness. So that's the context for the if you do want to come on as a guest, give us a shout.
Let us know in the comments.
And we also haven't named the podcast yet.
No.
Which, you know,
for two creative people.
I was going to say, you know, maybe we'll take some inspiration from you guys.
We'll call this a pilot episode, and then
that makes us sound like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, so I googled it.
So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We'll have, you know, a little bit of structure, but free to go where the conversation leads. But we're going to have a little tryout of some of the questions that we might want to ask our guests. So I'll ask you one.
Okay.
What's your relationship with Blackpool? What's your history?
So my relationship with Blackpool is it's a bit like having a bit of a dickhead mate. It's like, yeah, all right, I know, but he's my mate.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't you call my Blackpool? That's how I feel about it. Like,
you're allowed to say it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, there's ways of looking at things. You can see poverty and be like, oh, what a shithole. But you can also see it as like, what can we do to help these people?
Yeah, and also there is phenomenal people that exist within poverty. You know, it is something that we need to address.
Yeah.
But there's also some amazing people that exist there. Stories, character, personalities. And I read this book recently called Lost Boys, and it's about working class lads being lost in education because of this constant drive of we need to raise their aspirations.
Yeah.
And it's in a society where there's so much inequality, forcing working class lads to raise their aspirations can be counterproductive and actually really harmful. So within poverty, you know, we need people to live comfortably. We need people to live happily and, you know, with warm homes and safety. But there's also fantastic people and characters and personality that breathe life into our town.
Yeah.
To change that too much would be to change the story completely.
When we were at school, it was like, you've got to go sixth form.
Yeah.
Or you've got, if you're thick, you're going to do an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
When actually it's like, well, what if you're clever and like, you know, woodwork or mechanics or something like that?
And clever's subjective based on the current education system, isn't it? Like,
if you're academic.
If you're academic by our standards, then that's good. But if you're not, then that's bad. And that is totally wrong.
And if not, you're going to have to go into working in a shop. And
I tell you how I know that's wrong, because I don't know about you, Craig, you're probably quite handy having done what you've done for the last 20 years. But if a tradesman comes into my house, there is one sure way to make me feel completely and utterly inferior is that I don't have a clue what anybody's saying.
No.
So you talk about, so who's the person, I went to sixth form, but actually who's the person that's got power control of situation, knowledge, expertise, experience? That's the person who's done the trade. So that thing existed when we were at school, big time, and it was so wrong. It was so wrong.
I look at the people I went to school with, and you kind of, the ones who got the apprenticeships are the ones who like got
flying
cars now.
Yeah, flying.
And good on them.
And there's loads of phenomenal business people who've, you know, created something out of what the academic education system would say is creating something out of nothing.
Well, we're examples of that, aren't we? Because we actually grew up next to each other. I was 2 years older than Nath. But Nath was...
He's not anymore.
Yeah. But Nath was better than me at football, so we were... So my mates wanted him to come and play football with us and what have you. But it's funny how like we've kind of very, very similar backgrounds and we've gone totally different routes and then ended up
coming back together. Place, And this probably makes the next question, the fact that you've just revealed that we grew up next to each other makes my next question probably seem just really shit. But were you born in Blackpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know your dad's from London, obviously. Yeah, so you were born here.
So I was born in Blackpool and I had a southern dad, so I support Arsenal, which again has been a lifetime of shit.
Well, I wouldn't say a lifetime. You've had a fair few moments.
But then you get...
It's been a roller coaster.
People, you're a Glory supporter, and it's like, I'm not. If I was
you definitely were.
Yeah, if I was a Glory supporter, I'd be one of those people who supports Man City now and supported Chelsea in the 2000s.
I mean, for our age, if you were a Glory supporter, you would have supported Man United. Yeah. But
I'll know we both pulled the same face when we said Man United as well, which is another sort of...
We'll have to hide that, forgetting that
we'll edit it out. We'll edit it out.
So my relationship with Blackpool is that I was born and raised here, and I was, I guess, conditioned to love Blackpool, even though there are challenges. and I grew up in various communities across Blackpool, Revo, Town Centre, later on, sort of out towards Stanley Park with
Yeah.
yourself, Craig. And I've always been someone who's loved the people of Blackpool, the stories that exist within Blackpool. So I get frustrated, same as you, with
Yeah.
these YouTube kind of news reporters who decide that they know our story better than we do. But Blackpool's given me so much. It's given me, an amazing career before I became a creative person.
We'll set that siren going.
Blackpool's given me so much.
Yeah.
Before I became a creative person, I had a 13-year career with Blackpool Council, and I know Blackpool Council has its challenges, and in terms of the relationship with the community and stuff. But I was funded to do my degree. I had an amazing opportunity to develop professionally and do some really, really important work. So Blackpool's given me a hell of a lot. It's given me a family. It's given me a community. It's given me a football team.
You can live in a half decent house for the price of an average house, can't you, in Blackpool? Which I think is a positive. I think it's a massive positive.
I think it's extremely sad that people have to pay so much money to live somewhere comfortable.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's a positive regarding Blackpool, because perhaps for some people, houses feel maybe more accessible or attainable.
Yeah.
Not everybody, obviously, we know the levels of poverty and deprivation and stuff and the renting problems, but perhaps for a lot of people, it feels attainable. That takes us in nicely to the next question, which is, what is your positive side of Blackpool?
For me, it's people here. I think there's you're the words guy.
I'll try.
But for me, it's like I used to work at McDonald's, and I worked there for 2 years, and I'm friends with more people I worked with at McDonald's for that 2 years than I probably am with people I went to school with.
Yeah.
And I think there's that sort of survivors connection. We've suffered together, so we're all going through not necessarily that you suffer coming from here, but the fact that we've all had the same experiences of, I don't know, it's almost like we get picked on a bit, don't we? And we've all got our back on.
Yeah.
So
and there's this phenomenon that I don't even know if it's a real phenomenon, but kind of cooked it up with a few people along the way. But I think if you put somebody from Blackpool, generally speaking, obviously, but if you put someone from Blackpool anywhere else, you go away for the weekend somewhere, a lot of people say, "Oh, you'll talk to anyone, won't you?"
Yeah.
And I feel like that comes from conditioning of growing up in a town where you're constantly welcoming people into your space.
Yeah.
We're not precious about our space. It depends on what side of the tourism fence you sit, but generally speaking, we're not precious about our space because our town is a place for everybody. So we're conditioned over generations to welcome people into your space, which breeds conversation, it breeds connection, friendships, which again, accompanied with that survivors kind of
and I think
mentality.
it's a small place as well. Is it like you whoever you meet, you'll know someone. You'll know someone together.
1 degree of separation.
Yeah. And like for me, I've kind of lived 2 lives really. One, taking furniture into people's houses, so you get to see, behind the scenes where a lot of people live, which is a constant source of entertainment. I love it.
Yeah.
And then obviously playing in bands, you get a lot of people come and watch you, and they want to talk to you. And
you mentioned music and bands.
Yeah.
I think one of the most amazing things about Blackpool is the creative scene. We grow up thinking we can't be creative because we're from Blackpool.
Yeah.
Whereas actually it's the Las Vegas to the north. No.
Yeah.
Right. But behind the bright lights,
the Vegas of the final coast.
behind the bright lights and the big entertainment, the grand entertainment venues like the Grand Theatre, the Winter Gardens, the Piers, the Tower. Actually, there's a.
They're all behind us, by the way.
I don't want to call it an underground scene, but there's so many amazing, creative, musical people, entertainers, comedians who
poets
exist within this circuit,
Yeah.
are in venues that are phenomenal and relatively cheap and
Yeah,
accessible for the community. That's a real positive side of Blackpool. I think that
Yeah,
it's an untapped
there's
source of
always something to do.
yeah.
Always. Whether that's, well, we don't need to list it all, do we? But there is always something to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've ever been bored.
No.
I don't think.
No, because we mentioned Stanley Park before. I mean, we live not far from Stanley Park, but it's the UK's best park. And yeah, you're right. You don't see that often when we're talking about the negative side of Blackpool, because I think it's impossible to shine a negative light on Stanley Park. It's an incredible space.
There's a bit of Stanley Park which is like my place, and it's overlooking the lake. You've got where you pay to go on the boats.
Yeah.
There's some benches just on a few steps, and it's the best view of Blackpool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Love it.
It's beautiful. Although just a stone's throw from there is another place for you as well, which is the bandstand.
Yeah, of course.
You talk about entertainment, free music.
Yeah.
Every Sunday from spring to autumn.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Filling in fake PAT tests and forging insurance documents so we can play on there.
But Friends of Stanley Park voluntary group,
brilliant,
pull together a schedule of entertainment, basically family entertainment.
Yeah,
that's absolutely great.
And it's part of Blackpool culture, isn't it?
I would say
Sunday
so.
Afternoon,
Cool Box down to the bandstand at Stanley Park. It's an amazing way to spend a sunny afternoon
when the weather's right. There's nowhere better.
There is nowhere better. And you think when you guys are playing the Parker Monkeys, or when Bob On are on, or when Scarface are on, who've genuinely big followings.
Yeah.
You can't find a seat.
No,
you can't find a seat at the bandstand, and that's you look around and just think, yeah, Blackpool can be so great.
But again, there's no YouTubers there.
There's no YouTubers doing that. Right.
One of my kind of. I've played in loads of bands, and for years and years we played on the bandstand. It rained, or there'd be no one there, and we played with Jimmy Scrivener, the Northern Soul DJ.
Oh yeah.
And our bass player Dan, I think their dads were mates, so he's like, "Oh, get the lads on." So our band at the time were called the Get Sets, and we had a kind of like
brilliant.
60s sound, and we did a few sort of Motown covers and stuff. And we got there, and there was no PA system. So we got the practice room PA system, which didn't work. So we played about 3, and it was absolutely boiling. It was rammed, and it was like there was probably a few thousand people just on the grass behind as well. It was the perfect scenario to play.
Yeah.
And it was like when we're playing, we did like 3 songs, and we just was like.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Survivor's kind of mentality, and you got to go through it sometimes to get through the other side, haven't you?
Yeah.
And
you've got to play through the bad times to get to the good times.
I remember being asked to support an event. It was like a house music event, but the lad who was organising it had seen me perform, and he was like, I want you to support our event. There's any chance you could open up. I feel like it could be really cool, and do have some words and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, mint, because I was kind of just putting myself out there at that time. Ended up reciting poetry to one person at the venue, because it was a house music event. Of course, people didn't arrive when it started. So again, if you can perform to one person in a room that's fit for 350, well, you can perform in front of anybody, really.
The enemy of our band is chairs.
Yeah.
Because if there's chairs, people will sit in them.
Yeah.
And then if they're sat in them, they're not on the dance floor. But we did a gig. Nathan played with our band at the Continental in Preston. And I remember I can't remember what problem it was, but I was walking. I was like, it was quite busy.
Yeah.
And this woman just went, and it was a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And she went, "This isn't very Christmassy." It's not about being Christmassy.
I was probably reading a poem out about challenging the injustice. Something like that. Within our society.
Yeah, he's giving it all this, and this woman's like, "This isn't very Christmassy."
Was she not Red Scrooge?
Yeah.
What do we need more of in Blackpool?
Car parks now. I don't know, just self-belief for me.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but big time. No, that was mint. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like I say, I've just joined this college course, and I've really, really struggled talking about myself to a room of people, and I'm not a shy person, but talking about your successes feels like showing off.
It really, yeah. And again, another thing we're conditioned
Yeah,
with.
yeah, and I think there's people in the room who are way more natural at it than I am,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, God, why?
Why is that the case?
Yeah.
It links to, and now you're kind of self-sufficient with Shaker
Yeah,
Maker, you'll start to notice this even more. Pricing yourself
Yeah,
is really hard because it's
Yeah.
not just about the hours; it's about the skill set, the experiences. It's the product at the end of it, but
Yeah.
also the perspective and the emotion and
Yeah.
and everything that comes with it.
That is
Formulates a price,
It's
but
hard.
it's hard to move away from. But how long is it going to take me?
Yeah. With the band, because my band Parker Monkeys, we've kind of become quite well established, and we're at a point now where we hide behind the brand, if you will. So
Yeah.
if someone wants us for an event, we'll be like, right, that's the price. If you don't want us,
Yeah.
that's fine. If you do want us, that's what it's going to cost you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But that's taken. How long have you been playing in the Parker Monkeys?
8 years.
So 8 years to
It's-
establish that confidence.
And even then, we're really uncomfortable with it. But
Yeah.
you just have to kind of, you have to back yourself a little bit, don't
You
you? But when there's
definitely do.
four of you, it's
Well,
a
I was
little
going
bit
to say
easier.
you're a collective as well, aren't
But
you?
we're both sole traders.
Sole
aren't we?
traders now. So
Tax-paying sole traders.
it's really hard to be confident and have conviction and say this is what it's going to cost, because there's that fear of, but what if they go with someone else and then I'm going to lose the work and then I
Yeah.
need the money to pay my bills. So it's really hard. But that self-belief is
Yeah.
massive.
And
massive.
also,
we do
like,
need more of that.
Not everyone is in the financial situation you are. So we one of the big things that we kind of, as a band, we don't disagree on it, but it's one of the things that we discuss the most is ticket prices. And you forget that, like, some people aren't bothered about paying 10, 15 quid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we play in Preston a lot, and it always sells out.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's always not sold out on the night because people will just buy a ticket and then they might go, they might not.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas in Blackpool, because there's so much going on and there's it's quite competitive as well.
Yeah.
You know, I know not every venue talks to every other venue, and it's like, oh, well, they've got them on. Oh, and actually, what they probably should do is get together and create a circuit and share.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Well, it's the same with that is across society. You think of charities, you think of healthcare, you think of
Business.
voluntary sector, businesses. It's a dog eat dog world out there, unfortunately.
My dad's furniture shop was here from 1990. They sold furniture and beds, but a bed shop opened next door. My dad stopped selling beds, and we said, like, right, if someone wants a bed, I'll send them to you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If they buy off both of us, if we're doing a load of stuff, we'll take the bed with us, and vice versa. And then they started selling furniture, and then they started like slating us, and you're just like, it's beneficial to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've already experienced in this space, it's the opposite. I think because we're kind of, we are a little bit underground, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I think there's another podcast studio in Blackpool, and the lady that runs it was just like, and we'll work together.
Yeah.
Like,
that's brilliant.
And straight away I was like, that would never happen if we were furniture shops.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
well, what's that saying? Is it a high tide raises all boats?
Yeah.
And there's some element of truth in that. But
good podcast name that.
It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah.
To step forward into that realm and say I'm going to share because of lots of reasons. But yeah. Should we do our quick fire questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to do that as a little feature, aren't we?
Yeah, so
for our guests,
we're going to have set questions for guests so that there's a bit of structure and convince people that are watching or listening that we actually know what we're doing.
We know what we're doing, yeah.
And So, do you want me to ask you, or should we alternate? Or
we'll alternate, but we'll both answer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what's your Blackpool word?
What's your Blackpool word?
My Blackpool word would be, if something's good, to say it's double good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a Blackpool thing.
Yeah.
It might be a northern thing, but I feel like we say it a lot. I feel like
we say
double
sound
bad
as well.
Yeah, we do say sound.
Because I got scammed out of Oasis tickets over the summer.
Oh.
So it was but
not sound.
Yeah, but what was the most convincing thing was the scammer added me on WhatsApp and he used the word sound. He was like, "Oh, sound, nice one." which kind of and they were obviously using some form of AI to sound like they were from
Blackpool,
the Northwest,
yeah.
And it was basically Mark in our band, one of his mates had his Facebook hacked, and the hackers kind of used his name and his profile picture, and I knew the guy's face, but on WhatsApp he was like, "Oh, nice one, mate. Yeah, kid's all right," and I was just like, "Yeah, sound, mate. Yeah, blah blah blah," and at no point did I think it was a scam because of the language they used, and the word "sound"
It happened. Exact same thing happened with my wife. Someone from school, messaged it. Put it on Facebook. The message in, she was like, "It sounds like him."
Yeah,
I was like, "Just be careful."
Is his name Andy?
I don't know. But then I said, "Ask him what PE teacher was called at school."
Yeah.
So she asked the question, and then they blocked her.
Yeah.
Always have a.
But so then the other
traceable question up your sleeve.
He put the tickets in my dad's Ticketmaster account, so we saw the seats, everything official. So we had tickets, and then he said, "Right, when you send the money, I'll click confirm." Sent him 700 quid. Got blocked. And then so I rang the bank, and it was a weird one really, because I'd been to a funeral that day. It was one of the boys who I coach. It was his mum's funeral. So I got home from that and found out I'd been scammed, and I didn't really give a shit, to be honest. I just thought, well, if that's what I've got by comparison, I'll take it.
You take it.
But yeah, we got our money back, and I've still got the guy's number, and I still ring him, hoping that he'll answer. I rang him about 3 days ago, actually, and he doesn't.
No.
So
think you can use the word "sound" on me to manipulate me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your best Blackpool memory?
I think for me, probably I played at the Opera House.
Oh yeah,
which it's the only time I've like cried on stage, because my granddad played there. My granddad was an acrobat, and he it's a long story, but he's from Czechoslovakia. World War II kicked off, and we don't quite know how it happened, but he ended up being in a Russian circus, and he then travelled the world. He performed for Hitler. He played with Judy Garland. He was in the Rock and Roll Circus, Rolling Stones. He worked with the Beatles. He had this amazing life, and then ended up staying in Blackpool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd done the Opera House. So when I played there, obviously our band do Don't Look Back in Anger. So when everyone's singing,
God, I bet that was amazing.
It's the only time I've ever thought, I wish he was here now, because it was like, normally, I'm pretty kind of. It's not really the kind of person I am, really, but I just thought, God, I wish he could see me now. But yeah, that was cool.
Very cool.
What's your? We could probably do a top 5, really. But
we could. But I'm going to go with your memory. Just inspired me, actually, which is I'm going to go with being at Wembley with my dad and my brother, who are no longer here, watching Blackpool get promoted to the Premier League, which was just unthinkable, really.
Yeah.
It was unthinkable. Even on the day, to come back and win 3-2, just that tidal of Tangerine.
The weather.
Yeah, everything was just amazing. And it's a memory now that is more precious because of my dad and my brother no longer being there. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
The parade was one of mine.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And I don't support Blackpool. I do go to games, which is great, because if they win, I like it, but if they lose, I'm not really.
You're not emotionally invested.
No. So it's like, and sometimes it's quite good football, isn't it?
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
You never really know what's coming.
No.
That's the thing.
No.
And I'm now, my eldest is 7, and he's been introduced to a life of misery by being a Blackpool fan, but he's so into it at the minute that he, George Honeyman went off injured, and he actually started crying. And I thought, mate, you do not know what is in front of you. Yeah. But he's really kind of into it. And I love that, because he's like going on the website to check news, and he's coming in, running and telling me, injury updates and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Will, my son, he's
Gooner.
Faye, I've got two kids, Faye and Will, but Faye's not too bothered about football. She plays
football, doesn't she? Yeah.
but he's like obsessed with like football hooligans and the ultras, and I'm like,
not like you then.
No, I'm petrified of it. But we watched the game and he has like a shoebox covered in sellotape, and he's like, and it's like the whole
different kind of drumming.
Yeah, the whole game. He's just like this. The other day, I'll put a picture on the screen. Actually, the other day he had Arsenal underpants over his face to make it look like he was wearing like a balaclava.
God, I hope they were clean.
They were brand new, actually. They were box fresh. But I just thought, like, I'm gonna have to take it if this is a way of making him watch football.
Then, the things we'll do, eh? The things we'll allow.
But yeah, we went last. We took him to his first game last season
at the Emirates,
and he had the shirt on that I wore to my first game in Highbury.
The two blues.
Merson on the back, yeah.
The two blue ones.
Yeah, the
zigzag. Yeah. I remember you having that.
Yeah, so, it was mad. It was mad. And again, like, it's one of those things. When I took him to Blackpool, it didn't have the same...
not the same feeling. Well, yeah. You and your dad, mad Arsenal fans, so...
Yeah.
And it's good that Will's following in your footsteps.
What was great when we were kids was like your family was like Liverpool supporters as well. And that whenever they played each other and
hanging on the wall.
Yeah, I remember sitting there once and I think Michael Owen scored, and all we could hear was on the walls. And then we scored. It's like, yeah.
I think my dad probably just did that because he knew you were Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant. Absolutely.
What's the best thing about Blackpool?
Stanley Park for me.
Love that.
I think on it's where my kids play. My kids play for Clifton Rangers. That's where they have the home games. So
I'm gonna have to go with you on that.
Yeah,
I think it's.
Although they need more parking spaces.
Yeah, another car park.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they've tried, haven't they? Because they've opened that extra bit.
Yeah,
but it is tricky. But I'm going to go with you on that.
Yeah.
Stanley Park. It's well used. It's busy.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as celebrated as it should be by locals.
For me as well, it's like it's a Blackpool thing as well. It's not like you don't get many tourists on there really, unless they're at like. Well, they don't do hockey tournaments anymore, do they? Because they've changed the Astro.
Yeah, that used to be great.
Thing, didn't it?
Yeah, between the cricket club and the hockey club.
I just love it. I love I stopped playing football last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
For Inter Kebab?
Yeah. No, they moved me. They moved me to a different team, the Orange team. I don't know what the actual name was. None of them will be listening.
Really invested in.
But yeah, I rolled my ankle in December, and it just isn't getting better.
Yeah.
And I'm 40 now, so my ankles go through enough.
Yeah,
they're carrying this around all day. I play drums, and I think football.
Yeah,
the ankles.
You got any left?
The ankles just stop playing football.
You had a good run though, hadn't you? Did you not win a league?
Well,
or
it's more of a jog.
Like
yeah, we won 2 out of the last 3 leagues.
My best thing about my best thing is definitely Stanley Park. Actually, what's your hidden gem? Other than Shaker Maker.
I like Abingdon Street Market.
Yeah.
Not Triani's. Is it hidden?
Well, it's definitely a gem.
It's a gem.
It's definitely a gem. And if you don't know about it, then it's hidden, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that was one of Blackpool's.
Arnie's Sandwich Shop.
Now we're talking for hidden gems. Yeah.
Say what else? There's a few.
I mean, I'm going to go with it's not those who know will know, but if you don't know, then Bootleg Social is a hidden gem. That is it's an absolute diamond in the Blackpool crown in terms of providing a combination of great bands who are touring, as a touring destination, but also for local talent and giving people a platform.
Yeah, I'd have to put sort of the Waterloo and backstage, and even the brew room as well in that, because I went to the brew room on Saturday night and stayed. I fell asleep in there actually.
Excellent.
So, but we've
after the band had finished, obviously.
Yeah. No, but there's
who was on?
Coherent.
local
Oh,
band.
got a
Yeah,
local band.
fantastic.
The drummer introduced himself in earlier the week. He came
Really?
in, yeah,
Brilliant.
nice lad.
That's great.
And yeah, no, I think we have got some good venues, haven't we?
We've got some great venues. I
We've
think
got-
Bootleg manages to combine that
Yeah,
because they could spend a lot of time going after bigger nationally recognised names, perhaps,
Yeah.
to try and sell tickets to
Yeah.
kind of go along that side of things. But I think they get the blend really well
yeah,
in terms of local bands, and they gave me a platform. They gave
Yeah.
me, Rob Mason. We partnered up to create a poetry event, and I approached Bootleg with it, and I did approach other venues, and they never. Maybe there was a lack of a reference point of being like, what's this going to look
yeah,
like?
yeah,
Skelly at Bootleg didn't even miss a beat.
Yeah,
He
no.
was like, just send me a date.
yeah.
And, we
I
have had some phenomenal nights in there.
sold my first car to Skell.
Did you?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's still driving around in it.
So no, he's got a nice Jag now.
I just mean because he's so efficient.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, even when it was Jenks beforehand,
brilliant,
that
yeah.
was
amazing nights.
that was ours again.
Yeah.
That was. Can we have hidden gems that are no longer here as well? Because I think.
It's
I've got a question.
it's rooted in the brickwork of
Yeah.
Bootleg, I would say.
What thing in Blackpool do you miss that's no longer in Blackpool? I'm doing spot here.
That's a good
But I'm
one.
going to go Jenks for
Jenks,
mine.
yeah, Jenks was class. Friday nights in Jenks were indie disco were mint.
And even like some of the buildings that they've knocked down,
Yeah.
like the ABC, like I get that the not economical, but the cultural significance of the AB. I mean, it's the first place Paul McCartney played yesterday.
Yeah.
And Hendrix is banned from there and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, this is a lot of things that people don't perhaps think of when they think of Blackpool. They don't think of us perhaps keeping entertainment going during World War II because London had, entertainment had to be shipped out of London, and perhaps we kept it going. We don't think of we're steeped in history.
Yeah.
But perhaps because of the maybe cheaper sort of association with tourism, maybe it's like it's just kiss me quick hats and kind of
going back to the YouTube thing as well. There's the kind of cheapest burger in the UK, cheapest pint in the UK, cheapest hotel in the UK, and it's like
cheap.
Yeah,
actually, there's rich history.
All these kind of YouTubers come here and they're like, "Oh, I've stayed at the UK's cheapest hotel and it wasn't very nice." It's like, well,
what do you expect?
Yeah. Guess what? If you go to the UK's most expensive hotel, it's gonna be really nice. Like it's not.
And that's not representative of every hotel in Blackpool.
No, that's what I mean.
And there is some actually really affordable hotels that are absolutely banging in Blackpool. Really great. I'm going to go with now this part of my youth, misspent youth, shall we say, was spent at the Syndicate Super Club on a Thursday night.
Yeah,
getting absolutely lost in music.
Well, nightclubs.
We had one of the best nightclubs in the UK, arguably, for a period of time. We had some of the biggest names, but also local DJs. Again, that balance.
We'll get some of those in. Actually,
and that was an amazing period of time for nightclubbing.
Yeah, I think we grew up at a good time.
Good time, but certainly for the nightlife. Yeah. Maybe a not good time actually, because it's developed, this lust for going out and getting smashed.
But like being in year 11 and going heaven and hell and stuff like that, and Cahoots
sneaking
and
in
NTK,
your fake ID and whatnot. Not that we advocate for that, but
I keep mentioning back to this course, but I'm on a college course at Palatine Road, and we did a tour of the building the other day, and the lady said, "Oh, this used to be the arts office," and I was like, "Yeah, you used to get fake IDs from here." So she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah."
It's now an investigation.
Yeah. So when I was at school, you could get Tim Cook showed me this trick. You got an ID you could sign up for a college course, night course, and it was free. So I think we signed up for English night school. So then you get a college number, and then you get an ID badge. So then you got your ID badge, scraped the writing off. You got some stickers from WH Smith's, put a different date of birth on, took those to the council. Council give you an ID.
There you go.
That
was it not a giveaway when you signed up for an English course, but you spelt your name wrong?
It's spelt with an E.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that thing that I wish. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not that I wish that it was still here because I'm 38-year-old dad of two now, but the nostalgia I have of being 17, 18, 19 and being out on a big night at the Syndicate was mint. Made some friends there that are still friends. I'm still friends with now.
I'll tell you what else I miss. Some of the roads in Blackpool Town Centre. Just like they've paved it all. And then the buses are driving over it anyway. But like you're trying to, especially here, the traffic just clogged up.
Yeah.
Whereas when all the roads were there, it worked better.
Dispersed. I must admit,
I don't miss it as much as Jenks, but I do kind of miss
the pedestrianisation of
Norwich.
St John Square. You doing partridge there on me of Cedar Square, St John Square with Stefani's and all that. That's really great.
Love that.
With the sun's out in the summer, it's amazing. It's a really, really. You could be, you're looking at the Winter Gardens, you're looking at St John's Church. You could be in any, nice little town or city anywhere.
One of
in
the
the
questions
UK.
as well, like what did you say? What do we need more of, or whatever?
Oh yeah, before there.
Yeah, that make more of that.
Yeah,
because. It's a very European.
It is.
You go all across Europe, and they have these big squares, and they have bands on or markets and all these things, and we should use it more.
I think so. And then people, instead of maybe those who don't come into town that often, instead of going, should we go to Polton for something nice to eat? Maybe they say, go on, we'll head into Blackpool. There's this going on tonight. So maybe a little bit of that. But final question: what's your classic gift shop item?
I'm gonna go just Sticker Rock.
Sticker Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's safe.
There's so many I could have gone for. But
safe. Sticker Rock. Yeah, I'm gonna go for fudge.
Yeah.
Because my granddad, my uncle, my great granddad were heavily involved in the rock industry locally, Parker's Rock, and going with my granddad to the factory during the school holidays and eating a bit of fudge. That is a very distinct memory that I've got. And also walking past the very phallic and inappropriate rock that was being made and thinking, is that what I think it is? But that's also a distinct memory. So classic gift shop item.
Yeah. So like when you think of your childhood in Blackpool, what's the one thing? I'm going to write that as a question.
Yeah, I think.
Or what's your kind of standout? I think overall.
There's a few playing on Stanley Park, playing out in the street, playing on Stanley Park. I remember Peabody's.
Yeah.
And there, but if you were ever lucky enough to get to go in Jungle Gyms, because like I've created a poem and it was about Blackpool, and it was this kind of notion of everybody knew the tower, but not everybody was lucky enough to go inside. Yeah. And if you did ever get a chance to go in, Jungle Gyms was the place to hide. So I remember playing at those couple, but that felt like a treat.
I used to sleep in it.
In Jungle Gyms?
Yeah, I used to work there. So I worked at the tower for probably about a year or so. And we worked in the stores. So what our job was, we went in at about 5:30, 6, and would get all the stock out for all the restaurants and stuff, and all the sort of food outlets. But what I used to tend to do was I'd go to Jenks, take my work clothes with me. Jules would let me put my stuff there, and then Jenks used to shut at about 2. So I'd help them tidy up, have something to eat, and then just go straight to work, get all the stuff out, and then sleep. But in Jungle Gyms, there was like a kind of a slide that went into a ball pit that was kind of under or covered up.
Yeah.
I just used to have a little kip on the slide, set an alarm for an hour, and then just like wake up like that.
So why did you get sacked?
Stealing.
Well, that brings us.
I did get sacked actually.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Well, we won't go there.
I don't mind. I'm not going to get sacked again because I'm self-employed now. But I got sacked because everyone was on the rob, and I was the last one in, first one out sort of thing, and I'd never stolen anything. So I was just like, I went up into one of the offices and my name was on the rota, and I was like, why is my name not there? And the manager just was like, I meant to tell you, we've had to let you go. And I was like, oh, right, okay, why? So they said, we're down on stock, so we have to balance the books. So, you were the last one in, so you're the first one out. I was like, okay, so shall I go now? They're like, no, you can work the rest of your shift and then go.
I hope you nicked a pen off his desk.
So, well, anyway, I had football straight after at Vida, and I had my long football socks on underneath. So I just got loads of Mars bars and cheese and things like that, and I crammed them in my socks. So anyway, they checked my bag as I left, and I was like, there you go, there's nothing in there. Got out, Mars bar. And on that note,
well, that brings us to the end of our scheduled questions.
Yeah,
our pilot episode.
yeah,
We hope you've enjoyed it. Give us a shout with name suggestions if you want to be a guest.
yeah.
Give us a shout. What are we setting up an Instagram page or a YouTube page?
Yeah,
what
we
are we
might
going
as
to do?
well. We might as well go.
We're going to need a name to do that. So
Yeah, we'll get our thinking caps on.
Get our thinking caps on.
Yeah.
But yeah, do us a favour, like, subscribe, do all the stuff that kind of makes these things happen.
I've always wanted to say this.
Links are on the screen.
Yeah, click here for more videos.
Oh, what's going on there? Why is it? Oh, there you go. But yeah, work in progress with this. But again, like everything in Blackpool, we're
That's a good name for the pod. Work in progress.
work in progress.
Because progress is like
Yeah.
times
Have I just really done that?
Okay, thanks for listening to Work in Progress. Yeah.
Like,
Subscribe.
save.
If you want to be a guest, let us know. If you've got any suggestions for guests, we're not just thinking, well-known people. We want to get
Anyone who's got positive things to say about Blackpool.
Who's using their kind of place within Blackpool to help make it better. That's
Love that.
That's what we're doing, and anyone else who's doing the same. There's a seat, little tiny space between us. No, we could probably.
I think if I shuffled up there,
I might lose a bit of
Went
weight
on
as
a
well.
diet.
Get two people on there. Right, brilliant.
See you next time.
Cheers, guys.